Hey, today I'll be talking about my latest blog post, and it's on saving money in a startup with limited funds. My startup, my day to do, is mostly self funded. As of any of you who's actually, I don't know, read my blog or something, you know that it's mostly self funded. And as such, I've had to do a number of things over the last 4 years, to cut costs, to keep the operational costs low until the startup gets to a point where it's financially sustainable and I can actually hire full-time help. Um, yeah, I'll just talk a little bit about the sort of things that I have done. A lot of these, actually, it's a little all over the place. I was going to say a lot of these are smart engineering solutions to the problems, but not no, they're not all smart engineering solutions. Some of them are really just social interactions, like just well placed social in. I'm not sure how should I say well placed social interactions. Just talking to people to get things done. Um, Anyway, so the first thing that I'll talk about is there's a bunch of different things, and I'll go through them bit by bit. The first one is actually, yeah, I like this one. It's So a few years ago, I wanted to add um, the weather feature for my day to do. So what that means is, say my day to do is a task management app. It's a to-do list app, and one of its features is that you can set an alarm, wake you up in the morning, and it will tell you what you have to do for the rest of the day. It will read out your to-do list for the day. So you've got a heads up in the morning, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I need to get done. So I thought that it would be really nice that in addition to telling you your day, the things that you have to do during the day, it also tells you a little bit about what your day might be like in terms of the weather. Like it should tell you what the weather is like around you. Now, yeah, that was awesome. And obviously, the way we get weather information in an app is that I would use an external API. I won't talk about the details of explain the external API and all that. You could just refer to that elsewhere. So yeah, now to get data from the external API, I'm using Open Weather Map, and we're talking about 2016, 2017 here. And at the time, the only way you can actually get data from the data via a secure connection from that would be if you sign up one of the paid services, one of the paid plans. So a lot of these APIs they have like a bunch of different plans, right? Like one is free, one is paid, one is free, and then you start paying once it gets better, etc., etc. So the plan that they had, the only way at the time to get data via secure connection would be to sign up for one of its paid plans, and that wasn't part of the budget. That was a little bit out of that was a little bit out of budget for me, and so I was like, that's an interesting problem. I still need to build a. I still need, but I still want my app to tell the users about the weather. I still want my data to tell users about you know what the weather is like where they are. So I was like, okay, now so I decided that okay, and then okay, around this time I got to know about this other service called Cloudflare. Cloudflare is a you can look it up. It's just I think it's cloudflare.com or something. Cloudflare. So Cloudflare provides a way in which you can actually provides means for you to secure your connection. It offers things like caching and all that. There's a whole bunch of things that it offers, but the one that I was interested in was to cache your, to secure your URL. Then I thought, you know what? Maybe I could build a little REST API a proxy. And what that would do is it would actually get the data from Open Weather Map, and I would deploy that somewhere, and I would secure that connection using Cloudflare. And then my iOS app, my data can call that connection, call that URL. So it's still calling HTTP, and you see it's securing it to it's calling a secure connection, and that works well. Why? Because as of iOS 9, Apple introduced this thing called App Transport Security. And yes, I know you can bypass it, but knowing Apple, sooner or later they'll phase that out. And it wasn't something that bypassing it was not an option for me. I wanted to build a good solution from the start so it's actually more maintainable and there's less work for me to do. I'm a one person at the time, and now I'm mostly a one person startup. So, I need to really save my time. I need to find ways in which I can actually not only save costs but save time. So yeah, that was it. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I can build a REST API um, using that was the next question. So the other after that, given my experience, the first option for me was to actually I thought, well, my background is that of a Java developer, right? Like I was building Java enterprise Java apps with Spring Framework. I started with Struts, but it was Spring Framework latest. And I thought that, that was my first instinct, and that was the first solution actually. I built a Java REST backend. I didn't use Spring Framework. I just used, can't remember the Apache library or Jersey. I used Jersey. Yeah, I used Jersey, and I built that. But then I was like, deployed it to AWS. But AWS actually comes with a 1 year free plan or something like that, and after which you have to start paying. I was like, still, I wasn't 100% satisfied with that solution. That solution was incredible though, but cost wise, I was not completely satisfied. Then I realized I'm already paying for shared web hosting, and the shared web host has a means, it has Python. It supports Python. So I realized that I could deploy a Python and Django app on it. I can build a little REST API using Python and Django and then deploy it there, and then have my iOS app call that. I had worked with Python and Django for one of the clients in 2012 and 2013. So no, 2011 and 2012. I had worked on two projects prior to this. So I was like, oh yeah. Then I built that using Python and Django. And oh, okay. For the recruitment consultants who are watching this video, please don't call me for a Python and Django role. I am not a Python programmer. I can build a solution in Python, but I'm not a Python programmer. And yeah, so please, I'm sure there's really good Python programmers elsewhere they can contact. I'm not one. And yeah, so I did that, and I deployed my solution, and my iOS app started calling that, and yeah, the weather service was working, and it was great. However, as of 2020, the most well, I updated that, I upgraded that REST service, that little REST service, and I rebuilt that in Node.js. Node was a lot simpler. Node is actually, for some of those things, Node is really easy. Node is not that hard at all. Node. But anyway, since then, well, my usage has increased. I mean, my usage has become a little more complex as I work towards the final update of my day two. And for that, well, I need something a little bigger, a little more robust, a little more scalable. And that's why I'm rewriting that whole thing in Java. Java using Spring Boot. Spring Boot's awesome. Java using Spring Boot and deploying it to AWS. I can't stay away from that any longer. Okay, I mean I tried avoiding that and saving costs, but now my usage demands that actually my usage requires me to build something a little more robust, a little more scalable. So, and obviously my day-to-day, the number of users using my day-to-day has increased. It's almost 10 times more than what it was. Not 10 times, 10 times is an exaggeration. It's at least five, actually not very much. It's at least 5 times more than what it was back in 2016. So yeah. Um, Now there's still a few more things that I want to talk about, and I think I'll have to split this video in two parts because the other thing I've already spent 10 minutes over here, so let this be the technical part of the problem solving, and the next part will be really more about some of the social interactions that I've had over the last 4.5 years to actually to scale my day to do the way I have, to actually get it to where it is and to get it to the number of users that it does have. So catch the next video for that. Cheers.